Welcome to the recap of the Walking Dead universe. We are here live every week during the show season to discuss the latest episode. You can catch our episode reviews at any time, available on most podcast platforms. Get new and past episodes for free in the app of your choice, including YouTube. For those of you joining us live today, thanks for taking time out of your evening to be here. I am your host, Tamara, and I love a good TV show and a good book. If you'd like to reach out to me, you can find me pretty much everywhere at The Recap Pods. And if you're into books, you can also find me at Shelf Addiction. Joining me is show co-host Lisa. Welcome, Lisa.
Hey, Tamara. Hey, everyone. My name is Lisa Orban. I am an author. I am also the founder of Indies United Publishing House, and I love all things pop culture. So if you would like to connect with me online, you can find me pretty much everywhere at Lisa Orban Author or at Indies United Pub.
So before we dive in, a few quick things. First, we want to hear from you. If you're live, use the YouTube comment section. If you're on the replay, you can still comment or use the SpeakPipe link in the show notes to leave us a voicemail. Second, please hit that subscribe button. Follow us so you never miss an episode. All of the links for both me and Lisa are in the show notes, so you can find us on our socials. And finally, but most importantly, we are laid back in our review style, right, Lisa?
Oh, absolutely, Tamara. This is a conversation, not a dissertation.
Exactly. No scene-by-scene breakdowns here. We jump around, and of course, huge spoiler alert for everything in the world through yesterday's episode. If you're cool with that, this is the place for you, and we should just jump right on in. All right, Lisa. Episode 3. What did you think?
I liked it.
You liked it?
I did. I think Daryl's getting a little more gruff.
Yeah, he is getting noticeable.
He's, eye on the prize. Everything, the whole, steal what we need, do what we need to do, screw over who we have to, who cares about these people?
Mm-hmm.
We're just going to get home.
Mm-hmm.
And, I don't want to say it's a serious departure from Daryl, but it is kind of a departure of, he's, in seasons past, he's had a little more compassion.
I'm okay with this version because somebody needs to keep the eye on the prize. They can't both be like squirrel.
Right.
I like it from his point of view, actually. Don't think it'll be like that for long. So that's, I think, ultimately why I'm fine with it, because, he's a good guy. He's not going to just let things happen. I thought, I don't know. It was fine. All of these episodes have just been fine. And I know that's like my favorite thing to say, but I don't know. I need to find another adjective, I guess, because
it was acceptable.
It was acceptable, yeah. All of these episodes are generally speaking acceptable. So cool. So we get to push the story forward a little bit more this episode. People make stupid choices, as we expect.
Well, I don't know I can't remember the girl's name. The one that traded places with Alba. I can't remember her name.
And it was only written on that ribbon like a million times. What was it? It was
like, I'm going to read that.
Yeah, it's escaped me right now. It'll come back.
But she's lost
Justina.
her parents.
There we go.
She's lost her parents. She has her uncle, and she has a grandmother.
Yeah.
But, she's wanting to find a purpose, a meaning in her life. And I don't think young love is enough for her. I mean, she was willing to leave with him, but now that they're back, she's also willing to sacrifice.
Yeah. Yeah, which is the title of this episode. But I did think it was odd that, okay, so I thought last week when we talked about this, we had said we were trying to ruminate over why they felt relieved. And I was like, well, is it just because she got out of this round? And then you kind of indicated maybe she was done. But her to be done with this whole thing and then to turn around and just turn herself over for a friend after running away with her boyfriend, it just seemed kind of out of character for me. Like, all of a sudden, where did this come from?
I think it was all those ribbons. It was just because he's kept every ribbon of every person that was that's been taken over the years, and there were a lot of ribbons there.
Mm,
And
maybe.
I think, and I think it kind of when they're being taken one at a time, I don't think it had quite the effect as seeing all those names. And she was really I don't think her initial idea was to turn herself over. I
Mhm.
think it was talking to Carol and Carol making the comment, "It's not like you can switch places with her." And she went, "Well, wait a minute. I could.
Technically, I can.
Technically, I can."
Yeah.
And I think it was Carol that put the idea in her head because I don't think it had been in her head before that. I think she
Yeah,
was just
so
upset.
I took a screenshot of this when I was watching it on the TV, so excuse it, but I'm like, I was trying to see if these were all different names or all her name, and they're all her name.
Are they?
So
Oh, from all the years.
yeah, because remember we were saying we wondered, like, if he was sleight of handing that so she wasn't getting picked? I don't know. I'm just kind of thinking maybe he was doing that and then keeping them for all the time she escaped out of it? I don't
Right. I
know.
mean, it's not like they threw I mean, he might have just kept all the ribbons from all the times that she didn't get
Yeah,
picked.
right. Because I
And
guess they
that's
make
what
a
is it?
new one every year? I don't know.
One,
Let's see.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm counting 6. So
Mhm.
that's 6 years worth.
Yeah.
Man, that means they started when she was what, 12?
That's what we were trying to figure out. Remember, we're like, "When did they start this? Is it 12 or 13 or what?"
Yeah.
I'm hoping that she's got a plan and she's not really just gonna go and just literally just, I don't know, wait for something to happen, wait for someone to do something. I hope she has a plan. It might be a stupid plan, but a
Yeah.
plan. I don't know. Do you have any suspicions on what she intends to do, or do you think she's just literally, "I'm just sacrificing myself and that's it?"
Honestly, I think she's sacrificing herself.
Mhm.
I would hope that she has more of a plan, but more of a plan would require her to tell someone what she is doing.
Right. She did not do that, she just did it.
She just did it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, she could have confided in um uh Carol. I mean,
Mhm.
Carol had already voiced her disapproval of this whole thing, so she was looking for an ally. Carol would have been the person to go to.
Mhm.
I don't think she would have gone to her uncle, but she could have gone to her grandmother, just, or to someone else that she was close to. So, yeah, the fact that she didn't say anything to anyone,
Mhm.
I think she just traded herself.
I think that is so silly. And I guess, okay, I understand why, right? She said that Alba had this really strong relationship with her mom and she didn't think that either one of them could make it, but
Right,
that is so extreme. And sometimes I think about, plots of YA books where the leading lady is going to save the world, she thinks she's going to go make a sacrifice and then she ends up trying to save everyone.
right,
I'd like to think this is what she's doing because I think that is so ridiculous to have all these people, obviously her uncle, Daryl, Carol, and whoever else, have to try to, I don't know, maybe they'll try to rescue her, maybe they won't. I don't know what's gonna happen. It's very hard to tell what's gonna happen on this
right.
show.
I mean, it's very I mean,
Yeah.
kinda it kind of reminded me of, Mockingbird.
Mhm.
I offer myself as tribute kinda thing.
Yeah.
And I don't think she was intending to overturn the regime. She was just trying to save her sister. And I'm not gonna discount that this act of hers, her taking the other's place, won't have some, domino effect further down the line.
Yeah, but you said it. It's very Mockingjay. It's very Hunger Games. That is exactly what she did. Literally, they copy pasted that essentially. Just like the whole picking of the girl was very Hunger Games like.
Yeah. Well, and I will say this. I mean, the one big difference between her and the other show is this girl doesn't really have any skills.
No, see, yeah, you're right. She's got
She is
nothing.
I mean, if they had stayed out, there's no way that the 2 of them could have survived, or at least not for very long.
Mhm.
They would have been eaten by walkers or picked up by bandoliers or picked up by the other group.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't have a plan on where they were going, and they don't know of any other real communities that they could go to. They
Mhm.
know there's other communities, but they all participate in this game.
Mhm.
So, I mean, I don't think that there was a real plan. Okay, fine, they escape, but to where? To what? For you know?
Yeah.
And even the kid, when they were trying to get the boat, the rudder for the boat, he was determined, don't get me wrong, but not s the boy has no skills.
Look, okay, I gotta say, in this scene though, where they're out there trying to get the rudder out and he's making all this racket, and then, the walkers come and all hell breaks loose for a moment. And Daryl's like, just leave it. We'll get another one. I'm like, what do you mean get another one? This is not like a boat lot where you can just go get another one. The kid's like, no, he goes back and gets it. I'm like, well, someone's thinking. I'm like, what
Yeah.
does Daryl mean? We'll just get another one. Like, it's just plentiful boat parts
Well,
everywhere.
I think what he's saying, because he's seen where it's not just 1 or 2 walkers or half a dozen, it's hundreds start coming up.
Yeah, but he's supposedly desperate to get home, right?
Yeah, I
He's
know.
he's risked things before.
He
So
has.
that just seemed odd to me. And I get it. Yeah, this kid has no skills, negative 0, negative 100 on the power scale.
Right.
But I don't know. That just surprised me. He said that.
I think if he had been with someone who he knew was competent, or if Carol was, back to her former, self, I think he wouldn't have been quite so quick to drop it. But he also knew that, he was kind of there stuck with this kid that really doesn't know a whole lot. And he doesn't have any idea of how many people might be down there.
Yeah. He could have just said, we'll come back for it. That would have been acceptable. But we'll get another. We'll find another. So stupid. I don't know. That's just silly to me. It's like, that's not the world you're in. It was
Yeah.
hard to find that. It was scrappy to find that, I
I mean,
guess.
there were other boats they hadn't checked out yet. But again, I really think when he said, well, we can find another one, I'm sure he was thinking, well, I can come back, or we can come back, or, you know, um, let the dead rest for a little bit.
Mhm.
I mean, that rudder's pretty heavy. I mean, obviously they were struggling holding on to it.
Mhm.
So I don't think it would have gone very far in that surf
No, it would have stayed right where it was, which is why it was acceptable to come back for it. I can't imagine it would have gotten taken away with the
with the tide.
yeah, I can't
Yeah.
imagine that, but, I guess you never know. But again, this show is, like, always primed for us to suspend disbelief and just accept what they tell us.
Yeah.
Just, that's what they
But
expect us to do.
and the place was really waking up with walkers. They were coming out of the boats,
Mhm.
they were coming out of the water, and this kid could not defend himself.
Mm-mm.
If Daryl was not as competent as he was, this would have been all over.
Well, to be fair, they're only making all that racket because Daryl needed something.
I think that was part of his thinking is as more walkers are coming out and then they're coming out of the boats and they're coming out from wherever, they've been sleeping.
Mhm.
There was quite a few of them. And this kid was not any help.
No, and I think he was prepared for that, being how they met,
Yeah,
you know? He's like, he just really wanted his help in getting the stuff for the boat, and I don't think that he has any expectation that this kid would ever help him in any kind of fight. I really don't.
right. But again, I think that's where the calculation came in. Leave it
Mm. Mhm.
because he could. I don't think he felt that he could both protect the kid and keep an eye on things.
Mhm. Well, Daryl is a superhero, and he did do that. He got all of the walkers down, and with a weapon he just finds. What is that?
It was a hook. It was a anchor.
Yeah, so he did that, and then they just fell out on the beach like, "Woof, ooh, that was hard. Okay, we made
Yeah.
it. We're alive." Yeah, I like that scene. It was good. But I also like that the kid Roberto. There we go, Roberto. I like that he had enough, gumption to try to negotiate with Daryl, like, "Hey, I'll help you, but we need to leave with you."
Right.
I like that part.
Yeah. And I assumed that with as eager as he was to help Daryl, Daryl had already figured out, "I want out of here."
Mhm.
So that did kinda surprise me that Daryl's like, "No."
Mhm.
I'm
Mhm.
like, "Daryl, why do you think he's helping you?"
Right. Not for nothing.
"Not for nothing."
Yeah.
And I did kind of roll my eyes a little bit at him telling Carol to figure out how to get the solar panel down, as if they wouldn't notice that.
Daryl is so bold. I mean, Carol is too. She's stealing, like, right from the pantry, like, openly. And you're right. This is a solar panel that is highly visible. It's in the middle of a walkway. Anyone can see her getting it down. It looks like it's soldered on there.
Yeah. Yeah, she just kept staring at it like, "Huh, okay."
And I do wonder, though, why wouldn't Carol attempt to ask that guy? He was so kind in giving them everything. Why did she? I guess maybe that's just not autopilot. That's how she thinks they have to deal people out there now.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I will say, so I'm gonna the giggle I had, her with would you say his name was Roberto? Whatever.
Yeah,
And
whatever.
they're in there watching the movies.
Mhm.
Alright, and I got this giggle because he was talking about preserving history for the next generation, and he's
Mhm.
giving these examples. He says, "Or the Mona Lisa." And she just kinda looked at him, and I got a giggle because she had seen the Mona Lisa. She was remember? She was
Yeah.
right there staring at it.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I guess that was a callback to that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I don't know why. I just got a big giggle out of that one.
Now that oh yeah, his name is Antonio. Yes, Roberta's father is Antonio. All this stuff. So many people, so many new people for them to die. I feel like some of them are gonna die, if
But
I had to
yeah,
guess.
if the, previews for next week are any indication, there's shit's about to go down.
Now, I only saw the short preview at the end of the episode. I did not see any kind of, like, full-length preview. Did you see that somewhere, like, on YouTube or
No,
something?
I was watching things blow up.
Mhm. Yeah,
So I assume any time that, fire is raining down on you and you're jumping, it's
something.
bad.
Yeah. Yeah,
Things are getting real.
yeah, probably. Yeah, that's a fair assessment, yeah.
I mean, generally people don't send you fire when they're happy with you.
No, they do not. They do not
Not
try to
that
blow
way.
you up. No, you're right. That is a valid statement. I gotta agree with you there. Okay, what else is going on in this episode? What should we
Well,
talk about?
we've got the whole thing with the cognac. Our
Oh,
finest cognac. Do you think I'm here for a drink? And then absolutely humiliated this guy, and then took took that swig of cognac, repulsive, sets it
yeah,
down, and
yeah,
walks out. And then the guy picks up the glass, swirls it around, sniffs it, takes a drink, and you can see him like to himself.
yeah,
It's
he
not that
goes
bad.
yeah, he's like, "What's wrong with it? What's
Yeah,
wrong with it?" It's fine.
it's fine. Just
Yeah.
that whole, huh? It was. I found these little moments throughout the episode just amusing,
Mhm,
like the cognac, like the Mona Lisa statement.
mhm.
The ship's captain, she amused me.
She's a awesome character. I love her. I'm like, "She's so interesting."
Yes.
Yeah.
And, do you know who the worst passengers were on cruise ships? Kids.
Americans. Yes. I knew she was gonna say Americans.
Oh, yeah. I'm a great person on a cruise ship, alright? I know this. I have a lot of fun and, people like me. But, I can't say that she would be wrong because 'cause I've also been on a cruise ship with other Americans, and I've gone, "Really, dude? Seriously?"
Mhm.
You know? It would kill you to say thank you.
Yeah. Or on a plane or in a train, anywhere.
Yeah,
It's like, "Come on
dude.
now." Yeah.
So, yeah, I couldn't disagree with that assessment.
Mm,
Americans are kinda rude.
mhm.
Uh But, yeah, and then she has the 2 boyfriends, the 2 husbands or whatever.
No, I'm like, "Look at her getting her swerve on in the apocalypse. You go, girl, you forget it."
I know. She is living a very good life in the apocalypse.
Yeah, I
You
thought
can
that
s
was fun.
Yes, you can see she's really enjoying the apocalypse.
Yes, she is. I mean, that's how a lot of us would like to enjoy the apocalypse instead of being, like, miserable. Let's
Yeah,
just have some fun,
exactly. So,
you
yeah,
know?
she amused me,
Mhm,
and you can see that she likes this kid.
mhm.
'Cause the Daryl had just shown up at her doorstep. They either would have shot him or gotten rid of him.
Right.
She wouldn't have helped him.
No, absolutely not.
And I think she's partly just I think partly she's helping him just out of boredom.
Mhm.
I don't think she has a miserable life, obviously. She seems
Right.
to be quite enjoying herself, but I think she's also a little bored.
Mhm. I can see
And
that.
this is it's it's a project.
I mean, and he did bring her spicy olives, so why
Yeah.
not?
But I really do think she likes this kid. It's obvious they've had multiple encounters with each other.
Yeah. I think
So,
she likes both of them, him and Justina, because, she knows I think she knows they wanna get out of there, right? So and she knows what they do in that town, and she does not approve.
yeah, she does not approve of
Right.
the taking of girls.
Mhm. So she's like, "I'm gonna help. Yeah, sure, as long as he can get what he needs to get out of here, they need to go." And I think maybe they will. Maybe that could be the ending of this season. We see Daryl and Carol get back in the boat with these 2, but
Yeah.
that would be too perfect, so I don't see it probably going that way.
I'm I'm pretty sure we're gonna see Daryl and Carol get on that boat
Mhm. Maybe with one of them.
with one of them,
Mm,
and I'm gonna guess it's gonna be Justine.
yeah, same. Like, "Sorry, Roberto, I don't know if you're gonna make it out of this season."
Yeah.
That would just be too happily ever after. There's no way the both of them are making out of it alive. So, that's just my 2 cents. I could be wrong, you know, but
I
yeah,
hope she gives Daryl a few sailing lessons or at least some pointers on, how to get to the other side.
yeah, that might be
But
helpful.
again, I mean, the ocean's big, don't get me wrong. As long as you're heading the boat, with the parallel with the sun and heading towards the setting sun, you should be fine.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Daryl, he, like, doesn't really he's not grasping how much work it is to actually fix this boat. He's like, "Oh, we just patch it up." She's like, "You can't just patch up the whole of the boat. Like, what do you mean just patch it up?" Like, dude, that's not really how that's gonna work. What does he think he's gonna patch it with? Probably not what he thinks it's gonna be. It's gonna be a
Yeah.
lot more work than that.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. It's probably gonna take months for them to actually leave. So I bet this season takes place over a few months. It's gonna take a long time to get that fixed, not a couple days.
Yeah, this is I mean, the boat isn't in terrible condition, but you can see that it definitely needs some work.
And it's
Aside from
far. It's far from the water line. You see that? Like, even if the tide comes in, it doesn't come in that far. Otherwise, it would have taken the boat back out.
right. So, yeah, the boat is in dire need of someone who knows how to fix it.
And how are they gonna get it back in the water? That thing is heavy.
I don't know, something with wheels. Well, no, they're on
Yeah.
sand, but maybe like logs or something, rolling it on
Yeah.
logs.
That's a big effort. It's gonna take a lot of people to do it.
Yep.
So, I don't
I mean,
know, they're
she might
thinking
have
small.
something. Who knows? She
Yeah,
seems to
maybe.
have a lot of secrets. I mean, we live on the river here, so I've seen people you know, bring boats in and out of the river all the time.
Mhm,
Nothing, and we've had some big boats. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, we don't have tides like this.
mhm, mhm. Yeah.
So
Well, we talked a little bit about, Carol is on a different path than Daryl right now, and I think it's a good idea that the writers are splitting their priorities right now because although we do have some touch base, kind of scenes with them, where they interact together and they talk about, "Hey, do this, do that. We gotta get out of here." All of that. It, like, lets us learn more about this in the extended community. So, and I think it keeps things interesting that they're not with each
Joined at
other
the hip.
all the time.
Yeah.
So it gives some time for the characters to develop on both ends, like Carol and Antonio. I'm still holding out hope that something could happen between them. I don't know.
There's definitely something there between the 2 of them.
Yeah.
I mean, it was there when, he was bandaging her shoulder, and it was
Mhm.
definitely there when she was watching movies with him, and then
Yeah.
he made her a very nice dinner.
He made her dinner and then continued to say, "Hey, you can just ask for it,
Yeah.
Thought maybe I could give you an extra solar panel and, maybe if you need some food instead of taking it out of my pantry," like that, like, dang.
Yeah.
Oh.
So he's been aware of what she's been doing.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Like,
she's just like,
she's not as slick as she thinks.
yeah. Well, and we can tell that Carol is not at her normal level of cunningness.
Mhm. No, yeah, but
There's some fogginess, there she's a little she's discombobulated.
yeah.
And
Although Antonio did give her the green light for her head, well, externally anyway,
right.
externally, so.
And like I said, I'm pretty I mean, she had to have had a terrible concussion, and it can take weeks, months to
Mhm,
really to clear the fog.
mhm,
And she's getting better, obviously. She's not nearly as bad as she was even when she first came in.
mhm.
And part of that was fever and infection.
Yeah.
But you can tell that she's not quite there.
Well, she's not fully herself, but so she is with it though, she hears the loud noises and she grabs a weapon. She thinks she's gonna go maybe save someone and it's a movie.
Right.
She burst in there with a sword or whatever. Um, and even with Justina, she could tell the girl needs to talk, and she's like, "I'm somebody. I think I'm somebody." Last time I checked, so she's definitely. I don't think she's working at that much of a deficit. She's just in a different place. I think.
Yeah. And I see that too. I mean, she has been softer since she
Mhm.
came out of the tunnel,
Mhm.
but there is a difference of her behavior now and when she was in England. So she's, like I said, part of it is that little bit of a softer side that we're seeing. And I think, but part of it too is just she's not quite as there as she was saying, before the boat wreck.
Mm. Mhm. That's fair. Yeah. So when she was talking to Antonio and he was talking about Barcelona
Hmm.
and she said like she knew someone, a friend whose brother was there or something. Do you Okay, so I did not read the comics. So that was an Easter egg and Karina who listens to us and helps us out a lot, she sent me something where it kind of pulls us back to noting that that's Rick's brother in the comic books that she's referring to because his brother got trapped in Barcelona.
See, I didn't even know Rick had a brother.
Yeah, me neither. I was like, "Oh, for real?" I didn't, because they never mentioned him at
No.
all, ever. But they went and pulled that from the comics.
Interesting. Yeah, because I was
Yeah.
trying to think of who would be in Barcelona. I'm like, and my first thought was the pilot.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah, kinda just let it go. 'Cause I'm like, "Who the heck she's talking about? I have no clue." But turns out that's who she's talking about. So another Easter egg for people who read the comic books.
huh, interesting.
Mhm. It's always something. I wonder why they chose to lay that little tidbit in there.
It might have just, I don't know that there's a real big plan. I mean, kind of like the throwaway with Mona Lisa. I think they're layering things to make, and I think it's also kind of a tip of the hat to the people that used to read the comics.
Or entertain this. Let me know what you think. We all know that this world, I think the fans have been asking for Rick to come back and Michonne to come back together with this cast at some point.
Right.
So if by chance we're in Spain, what if the next season They end up in Barcelona, and they come across someone who's Rick's brother.
Huh.
And then when they go back, it could just be another connection, maybe. I don't know.
So we're gonna drag these 2 incompetent children to Barcelona. Okay, sorry.
Or one of them
Or at
maybe.
least one of them.
Right. I don't know, because I have a hard time thinking that they're actually gonna get that boat back in the water. I feel like something else is gonna happen. I just think that is a huge feat, and I don't know if they can actually do it. So
So they go to
after here,
Barcelona to find another boat?
maybe, or another plane, even though she don't know how to fly, I don't know. Or they get there and someone else has a plane or boat or something. I don't know, because 'cause I'm like, why would they even mention that? Like, there's no rhyme or reason other than to just throw something out there to the wind, I guess, and just see if
Yeah,
people catch it.
I
Because
don't
what's
know.
the point? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. That's just me making some theories. But who knows? I think that could be something later. Maybe, maybe not.
Maybe.
Mhm.
I mean,
Hmm.
we've already determined too that they are terrible sailors.
Yeah, they're not good.
It is very possible that they could get the boat fixed and still end up in Barcelona.
Yeah, that's totally possible.
I'm just saying, because
They're not navigators in
they
the
are not
water.
navigators.
Yeah,
And I mean, they've learned a little bit, but I mean, they were only on that boat with Nigel for what, 3,
couple
4
days.
days?
Yeah,
And so they kind of understand it.
barely, because he was thinking maybe they were lost, and
Yeah.
then, he's like, "Well, maybe not. Maybe I'm not, maybe not lost." So I don't think they actually know, and no one's trying to learn anything. They just wanna get the boat fixed, and it's
Yeah.
hope and pray they can get it where they needed to go. So, I don't know. There's one more season, so they've gotta do something. I do want them ultimately, my wish is for them to make it back to their community and that
Yeah.
at the end of that 4th season.
Mine too.
Yeah.
Like I said, what I would really love, and again, that we don't have to bring in the whole cast of characters, for a whole season or anything, but just on that last episode,
Mhm.
them all reuniting, or as many of them as they can bring back. I mean, she mentioned Jerry even, which
Mhm.
is, man, they haven't mentioned him in forever.
Yeah.
And you remind me of someone I know, Jerry. And so that was also kind of a throwaway comment as well.
Yeah, they're bringing up all in one episode.
Mhm. So, and then we've got Daryl putting down the Rubik's cube, at the
Yeah,
at the
at the little monument thing, yeah.
mhm,
Mhm. Yeah, which, he's thinking about Laurent.
mhm. There is a lot of references to people in their past, more so than they normally do.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I mean, I did pick up on that.
Yeah, same. I don't know. So and I think also, obviously, if they make it back to the community, Laurent will be there looking a gazillion years older because, kids grow.
Right. They do that.
Yeah. They grow up into adults. So who knows? He might even be a full-fledged adult by the time they get around to taping that. Who knows? But I don't know. Yeah, there was a lot of references to people in the past in this episode. And I think I've got to think it was by design and like on purpose, not just like, oh, let's do this, throw it up there. Oh, let's try this, throw it up there. Hopefully it comes back around to actually mean something than just for the sake of throwing Easter eggs in there.
Right.
Cause I don't know. I don't think that's fun if it doesn't have any kind of payoff somewhere later.
I mean, that's fair.
Maybe that's asking too much, I don't know. Also, we did get a couple more scenes of Daryl's past, a couple more
Yeah.
here and there.
Yeah, I ran away a few times.
Yeah,
Complicated reasons.
yeah.
Not really complicated, but
Too complicated for him to wanna explain, I guess.
right. I don't think it's complicated. I just don't think he wanted to talk about it.
Yeah, which is fair.
Which is fair.
But I'm kinda wondering how all of these scenes will come together and what revelation his character will have or what, resolution he'll figure out through this journey. Hopefully it's something again. These have to mean something. It has to come, to a point at some point. You can't just I guess you could, but I think it's pointless to just have the flashbacks without any kind of a payoff for them. Like, what are we seeing? Why are we seeing it? What is Daryl
Well,
learning or healing from?
so almost all the scenes that we've seen with Daryl flashing back is his abusive father.
Mhm.
I think it's going to tie into the girls that are taken because we saw, the one wife, when she sat up, had a big ass bruise on her shoulder.
Mhm.
I don't think she fell from a horse.
No, she did not. She absolutely did not.
And I don't know. I mean, I something tells me that these memories of his childhood and that bruise that we saw today are going to end up tying in together later on.
Well, I don't know how he would see that bruise. It would be
I don't think
interesting
it
to see how.
necessarily I think it's
Yeah.
setting up this where Daryl goes, "Okay, enough."
Yeah, yeah. But they left though at the end of this episode. They all left out of they skedaddled out of there. So maybe the girl tells him about it, you know, while they're all talking about what happened or whatnot. Maybe.
May I don't know. I mean, my guess is as soon as they get back and Roberto finds out that his one true love has sacrificed herself, he's gonna be on the road trying to find him.
Well, he's gonna lose his mind.
Oh, he's gonna lose his mind, absolutely.
Yeah.
And Carol could track them if she really wanted to. I mean, they're in vehicles, it can't be that hard.
Yeah.
Um, but Daryl's definitely the better tracker between the 2. And it
Yeah.
could even be that Roberto tells him, "I won't unless you help me find her, I'm not gonna help you with the boat anymore." And without his help, the ship's captain won't help him.
Right. That could happen. That definitely could happen. And then I guess that would also encourage, Roberto's dad to come because he knows his son is worthless. Basically, he can't do anything. So he would probably come and help as well. So I could see like a little group of them on the road to try to find where they are.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to stay in this town. They're not going to stay in this town. We're going to
No,
see because, yeah.
I don't think they're gonna well, they stay in the town at least long enough for it to get fireballed,
Mm-hmm. Then they're out.
then they're out.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm hoping the town doesn't fall. It's been around for a while and, it's a nice community. I want to see it stand. I want Daryl and Carol to go to a community that does not fall by the end of their leading. And I
I mean,
realize they're
they're
giving a daughter, once a year. I get that part. But for the rest of the time, this really isn't a terrible community. We have seen so many worse.
it feels like everywhere they go, just trouble follows them.
This is what I'm saying. I
Yeah.
would just once like a community to stand after they leave. Is that too much to ask for?
Like, how about not destroy everything? Well, no, that would be a lot to ask for. But maybe here that could happen.
I mean, these guys are like walking hexes at this point.
Mhm.
Actually, everyone from their initial group are just walking hexes because it doesn't matter what community any of them go to. They end up bringing it down
Yeah,
one
it's a
way or the
mess.
other.
It's always a mess. And they under the guise of them trying to help, right? Or do the right thing, but it just turns into the biggest cluster ever every time.
Every time.
Yeah. I
Because
don't know.
this community has been ongoing since the apocalypse started.
Mhm.
And they've not done terrible, truthfully. I mean, they have some power, a little movie theater. No one is starving. It's not a dictatorship.
Right.
It is a monarchy, but the king only comes around once a year, so it doesn't really matter.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, I would truthfully, I would really like to see this community stand.
Yeah. Well, maybe we can hope. It
I
wouldn't be
mean,
the worst thing ever for them not to leave something in ashes as they walk away.
right. I mean, I guess they can knock the community around a little bit, cuff it
Mhm.
upside the head, I guess, but let it survive.
Mhm.
For God's sakes.
Half of the community might be dead,
Yeah.
but leave it so they can rebuild
Yeah.
at least.
Now I
I
am
don't
kind
know.
of wondering if they figure out that the 3 guys that went missing was because of Daryl, and I'm wondering if that's the source of the fireballs.
So they probably, I don't know if they'll figure out it's Daryl per se, but this guy already knows that these 2 Americans are a problem. So between Carol just opening her quote unquote big mouth, right? And then Daryl, they pass him, a couple of soldiers pass him as he's walking out, they're gonna figure out, they probably will assume that he has something to do with it. I don't know how, maybe they'll see them as walkers in that pen, maybe?
Yeah, one guy in the
Mhm.
pen,
Mhm.
so I don't know.
Yeah. Well, we know he thinks that this, town has to, kiss the ring basically and make up for whatever he thinks was wrong about Carol opening her mouth and showing disrespect. So maybe, I don't know. Or maybe the bandolero people come.
True,
Bandoliers. Maybe it's them. Maybe it's not this guy.
and that's also a possibility.
Yeah, because they seem like they just trying to take stuff.
Well, because I mean, the one thing I don't understand with this whole taking the girls in exchange for a trunk full of whatever,
Mhm.
and I'm not saying some of the stuff can't be useful,
Mhm.
but 1, is it worth the loss of a person? And 2, while they are supposed to be like a coalition, I'm not sure if one of them gets attacked, there's no mechanism for anybody else to come to their aid.
Mhm.
I mean, when we had like Alexandria, Hilltop, and Oceanside, they would come to each other's aid,
Right.
but I don't think that's what this is.
Right.
For the most part, the monarchy takes and it gives a little bit back, but I
Mhm.
don't think it protects.
No. No, because they would have had soldiers there or something there already. Like maybe some kind of rotation of protection or something. You can't just leave them there. You can't protect from afar. They don't
Right,
have phones.
right. That's what
So,
so, I almost feel like the monarchy is more of a security blanket,
mhm.
you know, than a shield.
Yeah, I get that.
Because even Carol pointed out, "What are you getting in exchange? Are these girls worth what's in that box?" And I didn't get a good look, but I mean, and it seemed like there was what looked like a little bit of medicine, maybe some weapons, but I
Mhm.
really didn't, and they didn't really show too much what was in there, but it didn't seem like a lot. And it definitely
No.
wasn't I mean, if it was equally distributed throughout the community, would it make a difference?
Who knows? Maybe not. Probably not. Not a Well, they're doing this, the guy said, "Hey, we're happy to be a part of this alliance," right? So, whatever they're getting, for some reason, they've either been brainwashed to think this is good for them or something about this actually is good for them because why do it?
Right.
So, and I guess at this point, we're so far into it, I don't know if we'll ever actually know if it's worth it. Maybe they'll just say screw it and just, after whatever explosion happens or whatever happens next week, maybe the leader of this community is fine with them trying to get their people back and being done with this, whole thing, this whole alliance. Who knows?
Yeah, because like I said, unless there is more to it that I'm not seeing or we're not seeing,
Mhm.
it doesn't seem like they're getting a lot out of the deal. And he does
Mhm.
call it an alliance, but an alliance means that if you're in trouble, someone will come.
Right. You're supposed to have each other's back.
Right. And I'm not seeing that.
Mhm. Yeah, it definitely feels lopsided, that's for sure. And Carol obviously spots that. She's like, "Is this even worth it?" Probably not.
Probably not.
And I think a lot of the community would agree, but because of whatever their leader is saying, they're just complying. No one's pushing back.
Well, things are comfortable right
Mhm.
now. I
Mhm.
mean, it's uncomfortable to lose a daughter.
Mhm.
Okay. Don't get me wrong. But for the rest of, for the other 360 or, 63 days,
Mhm.
it's pretty comfortable there.
Right.
So there's really not a lot of underlying tension to really rile people up.
Mhm.
And because they're only taking one person at a time, if they came in and rounded up all the girls of a certain age, that would get the whole town in an uproar. And they
Right.
absolutely wouldn't stand for it.
Mhm.
But
So instead, they're gonna come back and just take one every year?
right, the slow attrition is, it's kinda like the frog in the boiling water. If you start off, at a low temperature, by the time it's deadly, it's too late for the frog to get out
Mhm.
because they just didn't notice until it was too late.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that could be this. I don't know if we'll ever get that deep in the roots of it, but I am still thinking about what you said last week about this guy and how many wives he has.
Yeah, curious.
Yeah. I don't know. He got them wives by force, that's for sure. No one is wanting this dude. He seems so mean. You know what I'm saying? He's just got a bad personality. Like, he seems mean. He seems deceitful. And I don't believe what the girl said at that dinner last week. She's
Right.
like, "Look at me. I'm proof. We're fine." I don't believe it for a second. Like you, I don't think she fell off the horse.
Well, and when she was with the other woman, and she's like, "My husband." "Yes, and you've never called him by name. Who's your husband?"
Right. Oh, so cringe.
Uh-huh.
It's so cringe. Now something is bad. Something smells bad here.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, the ship captain with 2 husbands, all right, fine, because they are both there willingly, all
Yeah.
right? That's a whole different scenario. If you're in a situation like that and everyone is a willing participant, then that's
Mhm.
fine.
Mhm.
But if you're rounding up young girls and you are forcing them into this, that
Mhm.
is not fine.
Right.
It's 2 wholly different things.
Right. Yeah. So, with them kind of splitting time between Daryl and Carol, do you think that next week, because they took Justina, do you think we'll see any screen time with her without either of our main characters? Do you think we'll get to see what's going on there?
I don't know. Maybe.
That would be fun, I think, to see what she's seeing before the others come.
Yeah. I think it would be too.
I wouldn't mind it at all because I'm very curious about it now. And they've talked it up, it's such a big point of, I guess, contention here, right? This is the whole driving force behind all of this. So I want to see what's going on. I want to see firsthand, and hopefully we can see it through Justina.
Yeah. I think we will. I don't
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping it'll be next episode. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
we don't have a lot of episodes left.
Yeah. So interesting. And this was another episode that was like, it had a lot going on, but really there was only like 4 or 5 main things going on in this story. It was still kind of a tight story.
And I don't mind that. I mean,
Yeah.
because you and I had talked about, particularly in The Walking Dead, that they had gotten to the point where there were so many characters, there were so many people that
Mhm.
no one really got a lot of good screen time.
Mhm.
And we'd even forget about characters just because we hadn't seen them in a while.
Right.
So, I don't mind that they're keeping these episode tight and there's a lot of people around,
Mhm.
but they don't really matter. You know,
Right.
they're the backdrop
Right.
for this story. So I'm not hating the way that they're keeping these episodes pretty contained.
Mhm. Yeah, I agree. So they're tight episodes with a little bit of action. They threw in some walkers for our sake, to keep things interesting. Same with last episode where Daryl was fighting. He's doing all the interactions with the walkers this season so far.
Well, he's the only one that's really going out too.
Hmm.
So, there's that.
Or doing anything other than.
Well, Carol's just not herself right now.
No, she is not. Maybe she'll do some killing before the end of the season.
Yeah.
Instead of oohing and eyeing over a cute couple. That was just so weird to me still.
Yeah.
But, I guess it is what it is. So we'll see how long it takes Carol to get back to herself. Will they get in the boat and leave? Dun, dun, dun. We're yet to see what happens, there.
Like I said, they could get in that boat and very well end up in Barcelona anyway. They could end
Yeah,
up anywhere.
yeah. They don't know what the hell they're doing.
Right, and they don't have they have a s I mean, it's a sailboat, but they don't have a motor. So if the seas get calm, they have no way to go forward. There's no, you know, it's not like they're gonna row their boat.
Mhm,
And if there's another storm, neither one of them know what to do,
mhm.
obviously.
Right.
Honestly, I don't think any 3 of them knew what to do in a storm like that, which is why it ended up so bad.
Mhm.
But, you know,
Yeah. I guess we'll have to see. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that lady will give them a lesson on what to do. She's a captain after all
yeah. I mean, it's
of
cruise
cruise
ships, but,
ships.
you know,
Yeah. But still navigation is
yeah,
navigation. So,
navigation is navigation, yeah.
yeah, maybe she can help them. And I bet she's driven all kind of boats. And, the cruise ship is just the craziest, biggest boat you've ever seen. I'm sure
Yeah.
she can drive a little one. Or who knows? Maybe she'll end up with them. Maybe she'll leave. I don't
You know,
think
I
she'll
had
leave her boys. She's not leaving her guys.
she's not yeah, I had thought about that, but, like, 1, that boat is entirely too small to have Carol, Daryl, her 2 husbands, and and then even just 1 of the kids.
Yeah, it's too small.
It is entirely too small. I mean, that's really like a 2, 3-person boat at most.
Yeah, the 3 of them, 3 adults was hard enough on there.
Yeah. There was
Mhm.
not a lot of room.
Mm-mm. Yeah,
And
a whole gang is not leaving. It's only
right.
gonna be 1 more person.
Yeah.
And we said it here, it's gonna be Justina. I think we're right.
And that's who I think it's gonna be, yeah.
Mhm. If they get back on the boat, that is. Alright, anything else you think?
No, I think that's about it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this was a fun time talking about episode 3. And of course, thank you to everyone in the live chat and who logged on to listen to us. Thanks. We appreciate you for doing that. And if you want to be a part of the conversation next week, be sure to hit that subscribe button. And remember, all the links to find us are waiting for you in the show notes. And we will see you guys next time. Take care of yourselves.
Bye-bye.